Shalom. First off, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's true name. Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son. Want to give double honors unto the elders of Israel, which are the elders of great millstone, who rule well and teach well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is the brother Mashah here with another lesson. Salakia. This is the brother Mashah from the GMS branch out here in the morning camp, here with another lesson through the Spirit. And in this lesson, basically, I'm just going off the Spirit that's out here. Just pretty much going in on these 2/3. Being blinded to the truth. These 2/3. Whether they be in these other camps. Or whether they just be 2/3 in the world. Ultimately, overall, man, they were just blinded, as the scripture said. And then the Lord's not dealing with them. All right, and which is why they just can't get it. So without further ado, we're gonna start off with this. This is the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 7. It says, what then? What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And that's that. All right, because only the elect are gonna understand the truth. Understand this truth. To its the whole totality of this truth. All right, because these guys in these other camps, they have they know that Israel. We'll just say that. They know they're Israelites, but they don't. Everything else they go off on. The names. They go off on that. Everything else pretty much. The names. Things like what day the Sabbath may be, or just so forth and so forth. All right, what you shit the RFID chip not being the mark of the beast. Hey man, what it just shows you ultimately they're blinded, and the Lord doesn't want them. Because as it says, let me see if I can find that real quick. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 69 and 22. Which this is King David, all right, praying this prayer himself. Psalms chapter 69 and verse 2. Wait, so like was that it? So okay. Psalm 69 and 22. Let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. All right. So hey, it says let their table, meaning the going into your mind, all right, be made a snare. So pretty much, they understand this. They understand that Israel, but what? Their table is made a snare, so they can't understand, the whole totality of this truth. The Lord doesn't want them to ultimately get it. All right, because once again, the Lord is not dealing with all Israel. The scriptures say what? All Israel is not of Israel. So I'm gonna continue on reading. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Right. So this is he's quoting, of course, from the book of Psalms, what we just read. And then, that's exactly what we see going on to this day. That's why you got these other guys in these other camps, preaching things, going way off, according to the scriptures. All right. Just we are, as you can see, everything that they're preaching, that the apostles are putting out lessons on and cutting and correcting. All right. And ultimately it's for the sheep that come in, so that they don't get confused, and whatnot, so from here, let's get the book of Isaiah. I got a few precepts written down, just to run with, and whatever else, the Spirit gives. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, and starting at verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. So this is the Lord, plain and simple, just blinding these other guys and blocking them off from understanding the whole totality, all right, of the mysteries, okay? Should I say, you know? This is the Lord doing this because ultimately what? He doesn't want all of Israel, because as the scripture say, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Is it the book of Romans? Romans chapter 9 and verse 6. I'll just get to the point. Well, I'll probably just start at the top and just read through, So like I'll just get to the point, This is the book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Shalakia. It's verse 6 I wanted. Romans chapter 9 verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So this is going in pretty much, hey, you got 2/3 and you got the 1/3 that's destined to be saved. All right. The 1/3 along with the elect, the 144,000, And then this, once again, it's all by the word, it's all by this doctrine, because as the scriptures say, matter of fact, let's get that. The book of Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. Proverbs 21 and 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right. And what's the way of understanding? What? The way of understanding is this truth. The way of understanding is having this truth and understanding these scriptures, having the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. This is the way of truth, or the way of understanding, should I say, and a lot of these people, 2/3, they're in the congregation of the dead, because what? They didn't receive this truth, So they're still in the congregation of the dead, in this which is of this world. And all these people in this world are destined to be destroyed, okay, when the Lord returns, and when the Lord returns and brings that sword upon this place, That's why, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Because ultimately, once again, it all revolves around this word. It's this word that's of course, concerning the nation of Israel. Because once again, these heathens are they're not a part of this thing anyway. But let's get that precept going into the 2/3. Because this is, ultimately, and this is going to happen by way of what? The word separating the elect from the 2/3, This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13. And we'll start at 8. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Right. And the 2 parts therein is talking about the 2/3, but the third that's going to be left therein is talking about the elect and the 1/3. All right. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is my power. Right. This is going into the elect, because only the elect are going to understand this true knowledge. The elect are going to understand this doctrine, you know, and bring forth fruit, you know. But once again, 2/3 they're gonna be cut off. You know, even the 2/3, you know, the ones that came into this truth, you know, and were had their how do I say it? Were pretty much just, you know, the Lord rejected him. You know, the Lord casted him out. Hey, you know, they're gonna die. They're gonna die along with these 2/3. But once again, they're gonna be beaten with many stripes. Why? Because they knew the will of the Most High. You know. So from here, let's grab the book of 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. God, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. And once again, you know, concerning this truth, you know, and having the true doctrine and understanding, this 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. Right. You know? So it's the gospel's hid unto them that are lost, you know? Because what? That light didn't shine upon them. You know, the Lord didn't open up their understanding onto this truth. You know? The spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai isn't dealing with them. You know? And then when verse 4 says, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Right. You know, and it's ultimately the Lord, all right, working through the left-hand side, you know, to and of course, you know, this is talking about 2/3, but it's also talking about mainly it's talking about 2/3 in the world, you know, because they're the ones that are blinded by the God of this world, by through Esau's lies, through Esau's vain philosophies, you know, out here, you know, believing in Christianity, you know, and just even the ones in the truth too, you know, or that are so-called preaching the truth that just know they're Israel but aren't teaching the correct doctrine, you know. Because they know they're Israel, but you know a lot of times, you know, a lot of those guys, you know, they have ways and understandings of the world, you know, that ways that Esau taught them. That's why some of these guys, they have a problem with the scriptures and the truth of the scriptures and the things that come out and are brought out. You know, like as an example, brothers bring out I believe it was some woman, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the video or anything like that, but she was pretty much saying GMS has the truth, but she's not okay with how basically, you know, she doesn't agree on how the truth that they bring out on women, pretty much, you know. But it just shows you, you know, she's leaning upon her emotions and her own understanding in ways that she was brought up. Because Esau put the woman on a pedestal, made her feel like she's you know, like overly important, you know. Which is when we come into the scriptures, we understand, hey, you know, the woman was created for a purpose, you know, and she's under the man, the Israelite man, you know. So but that's pretty much the point of this lesson. You know, I didn't really have nothing else, you know. I didn't want to drag it out too long, you know. It was just something, you know, I wanted to put on wax real quick, you know, just going, looking at the spirit that's out here, you know, and just, you know, it's a beautiful thing to have this truth, you know, and you know, let's just continue to push and keep doing the works, you know. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the water Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, for putting the spirit upon me to do this lesson. And giving double honors unto the elders of Israel, which are the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to all Yawakim, continuing to push the works in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.